Diablo 4 2.0 is here. We are officially out of the beta. The rumors were true. The new max level is 60. It's no longer 100. This is to create a faster and more fun process to get into the endgame. The difficulty system has been completely rehauled. There's no more progression lock. No, it's now actually up to the player to choose if they want to face a greater challenge in order to get a greater reward. Level up faster, more loot, etc. So there are 8 difficulties, and the first 4 are dedicated to the leveling experience, 1 to 60, and then the last 4 tiers of difficulty is dedicated to the endgame pushing. They have made changes to the itemization. Now, ancestral items is what you are looking for in the endgame. These are your forever items. They are the best in slot. They have higher item power than the normal items. They can be masterworked more. They have more tempering. Ancestral items is where it's at. In the current game of Diablo 4, you have to level up your paragon glyphs by going through nightmare dungeons and kind of grinding that. It's sort of like a chore, but they've completely changed how that process works. Now you can no longer level up your glyphs in the nightmare dungeons. You actually have to do the pits. And the pit has 100 tiers from 1 to 100, just like the glyphs do, from 1 to 100. And in order to level up your glyph, you want to be completing a pit tier that is higher than your current glyph level. So if your glyph is level 50 and you're completing a pit 30, you're going to struggle to level up that glyph. But this also works to your advantage, because if you have a really strong character and you're doing pit 50, but one of your glyphs is only level 1, you're going to level up that glyph extremely fast. So essentially this saves a lot of time for the casual players, whilst giving the hardcore blasters something to do and a reason to push the highest tiers of the pit. Something to note is that the glyph radius now increases as 15 as per usual, but also at level 46. So our glyphs are going to be huge. They've actually made it so that the masterworking materials now drop in nightmare dungeons rather than in the pit. So they basically swap the purposes of these two activities. And the cool thing now is that each elite pack that you find in the nightmare dungeon will actually drop the masterworking material, as well as of course finishing the dungeon itself. I think this is awesome because nightmare dungeons now actually has a purpose in the endgame. They have improved the tempering recipes. Not only have they added the scroll of retempering, resetting all of your tempering attempts, but now also the categories of tempering make actual sense. Like the weapon tempers all provide multiplicative damage, and the offensive tempers give you additive damage, and the utility tempers give you, for example, increased size or increased duration of your skills. Whereas before in the live game, all of these type of effects were kind of scattered across all types of categories of tempers, but now it's way more organized. Ultimates can now gain additional skill ranks, up to 5 like all other active skills. This is probably going to make them way more viable. Each class in Diablo 4 will be getting 1 new active skill, 1 new key passive, 4 new regular passives, 1 new paragon board, which includes a new legendary node, and also a bunch of new items, uniques, aspects, stuff like that. Plus there are 3 new mythic uniques. Your town portal can be set to TP you to wherever you want. Like you can set a favorite town that you'll automatically go to. There's a new key inventory tab for consumables like horde sigils or nightmare dungeon sigils. And there's another inventory tab for socketables like gems and runes. We're also getting another stash tab. There's going to be less crowd control coming from normal monsters. Like they might still immobilize you, but they're not going to stun you. So if you're getting crowd control, expect it to come from the elites. A lot of the dungeon design across the game has been improved to, you know, have better flow, be a bit faster, no more of those intermission events. And apparently there's also more variety in the dungeons. And we have the new party finder coming to Diablo 4, so it'll be very easy. No matter the activity you want to do, you'll find other players to do it with. And perhaps most exciting of all, they're adding Runewords into Diablo 4. And basically how this works, you put in 2 runes into any item that has 2 sockets, like your 2-handed weapon, the helm now, and the chest and the pants. And it basically creates like an equation. The first rune is when you X, like when you use a cooldown. Then you gain Y. For example, you gain crit chance. So Runewords has to be used in this combination. 1 ritual rune and 1 invocation rune. And you can only have maximum 2 Runewords equipped at any given time. And you can't equip the same exact runeword twice. And runes drop from all enemies, but you can actually target farm runes in the new game mode at the Undercity. What's really cool is that these Runewords allow you to cast skills from other classes, similar to in Diablo 2. And if you happen to find 3 of the same rune, but you don't need that rune, you can actually use those 3 to craft a new different rune. And if you have the right combination of runes together with a resplendent spark, you can craft mythic uniques. This, combined with the fact that runes are tradable, is going to completely change the trading economy. All in all, every rune that you find is going to get you closer to, the gear and the build that you want. But do keep in mind that this is Vessel of Hatred, like the expansion only. There are 2 PTR testing phases for all of this. The first one is next Wednesday, 4th of September, around midday, Pacific time probably. And this goes on for 2 days. But in this phase, everyone is starting from level 1 because they want to get feedback on this new leveling progression system. From the Friday, 6th of September onwards, we're going to get access to the endgame, all the Runewords, the new features, and we can access all of the items to easily test everything. And they said that more Season 6 specific news is coming soon. Remember, Vessel of Hatred, the expansion, is going live in like 5 weeks on October 8th. And if you're watching this right now and you're interested in more details of all of these updates, I've linked the Diablo 4 2.0 patch notes in the description of this video.